Okay, should be live, should be audio. There is. Cool. Hey Christopher, thanks. Yeah, gray skies have been here actually for the last just few days since this last live stream. This is the first time we've had a clear night for a while, but kind of waiting to officially go live here for another 5 minutes, but I'm already on it. So we'll see how people pop in. But I'm still getting things kind of sorted and set up. Let's see, let some people know. I think I should do a quick live. Not live. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking really good though. You can already see the great red spot really nicely. Oh, this is cool. Alright. Let's see if I can stay warm. Let's see here. Should I do my YouTube like radio voice here? So this is Instagram Live. I'm going to do a quick. Okay. Okay, everyone. We're going to go live with the Jupiter Great Red Spot through my telescope, which is behind me. We're going to go live on YouTube, actually. So if you want to watch the Great Red Spot live, you can check the live stream on YouTube. So check the live stream on YouTube. It's going to look a little bit like that, but a lot better because it'll be a direct screen share of my telescope onto YouTube. And we've got live stream setup going through the telescope. Hopefully going to get some really good stuff tonight, so join in. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Well, look at what we've got here. Okay. So we've got some people watching now, just a few. People will trickle in as we get going here, but it's almost time to start. From what I talked about, I'm going to try and set focus a little bit better. It's still not quite as high as I would like the planet, but it's getting there. Focus is obviously super important here. Okay, so it's close enough. It is 2 a.m. Okay, so everybody, it's 2 a.m. My time. It is universal time about what? What is that? Midnight. It's midnight on the 30th of April. We're going to be looking at the Jupiter Great Red Spot. There's actually moon transits, so we're going to see Europa, and possibly I can already see the shadow of Europa on the planet. So we're going to watch the Great Red Spot as it goes across the planet, and I'm going to be doing some imaging of it. So I'm going to use my camera to take photos, the camera on the telescope, to take photos of the actual Great Red Spot as it transitions through across the planet, and then the planet itself. And so we're just going to do that. I'm going to switch over to the telescope view now, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask away, and I can answer them to the best of my ability. I won't tell you any lies. I'll just, if I don't know something, I will say I don't know. So anyway, here we go. Here's the Great Red Spot on Jupiter live. Yeah, this is looking very good right now, actually. Let's see if I can tighten up the focus a little bit. It's jumping around quite a bit, but it's still relatively low at the moment. So if you can see on the right here, there's a very faint moon. That is Europa. We actually see the shadow, so there's a dark spot right here on the planet. That's the shadow of Europa on the planet right there, and that's the moon Ganymede. So we're seeing, yes, we are seeing those two moons at the moment, and the shadow of Ganymede, and then the Great Red Spot, which is right here. I'll switch to another color filter soon so we can actually see it a little bit better. Io is actually out here a little bit. I will, let's see, that was at 225. We can see the moons a little bit better now. So you'll be able to see Ganymede here, Europa here, and off the screen right now, let's see if we can get it up there. So sorry, this is it's actually backwards. I had it flopped. So this is Europa here, this is Ganymede, and this is Io. So those are the three moons. Now I'm going to switch back so it looks good. Put it back in the middle. Mostly in the middle. There we go. Okay. So tonight I'm running a little bit different of a setup. Russ asks, what's the focal length of the scope? Well, the focal length of the scope at prime focus, at basically without any extra magnification, is 2,304 millimeters. So it's basically the equivalent of a 2,304 millimeter lens. But right now, I have got something called a PowerMate. I've got a 2.5 magnification, 2.5 times magnification power mate on it, so it's actually running at about 5,760 or so ish millimeters. So this is 5,760 millimeters, around there, and I'm currently running at a focal ratio of f20. So it's a very, very, very long lens tonight. So the view should hopefully be better. Doesn't always work out, but it's looking pretty good at the moment. So I'm gonna have to go with it. Adjust focus a little bit again. I'm gonna be doing this a lot tonight to try and keep it nice and tight. Now the box that you see around the planet now is a clipping box for when I record video. So when I record the video streams that I use to make the actual images at the end, it's only going to use the video what you see in that box. So it makes the file sizes a little bit smaller. Ooh, I'm going to try and say your name. Boitena El Hori. Also, can we see planets and deep sky objects just by using astronomy binoculars? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can use just binoculars. I would actually recommend checking out the Celestron Skymaster. I've got a set of Celestron Skymaster binoculars that work quite well. You can see the planets, you can see the moons, moons of Jupiter even, in binoculars, or really any set of binoculars. Just get them, point them up at the sky and point them up at the bright stuff, and you can actually see it. So I am going to stay on Loom for now. And I'm going to do 120 seconds. No, I'm just going to do 60 seconds. 60 seconds on Loom, just because I want to see what happens here. So what I'm doing is I've actually got a histogram output on the screen on my side, and it's telling me how bright the image actually is in the camera. And I shoot at about 90%. Anywhere from 80 to 90% histogram. So I'm going to do a 60-second capture. We're shooting at only 75 frames per second tonight. Normally I do about 200, but I'm actually changing things around tonight because I want better quality, and I've been talking to some people, hopefully. Yes, it's a 12-inch. It is a 12-inch telescope. Hello, Renee. Welcome again. Yes, it's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning for me. Sorry, I gotta do social stuff sometimes too. One-man show here. Alright. So, it actually works out pretty nice to use this clipping box to capture that. I just did a 60-second capture of what's inside that white box. And it turned out to be about 2 gigabytes at 75 frames per second. So we'll see. That's what I'm going to shoot with tonight. I'm gonna attempt to do this. Renee asks, is this a different image capturing software? Notice the red dots are now a square. Yes. So instead of using what is called that auto align feature with the four dots, I'll actually pop that on now. Is this it? No. Turn off that. Where's auto align? Here is this. This is auto align. Okay, so what she's asking about was this auto align feature. Auto align's okay, but what I was actually doing was also I can use both. Huh. Okay. Maybe I'll just use both. Why not? Looks fun. Never thought about using both. I'm glad you mentioned that, Renee, because now I'm going to just use both. Why not? Because then it makes it nice and steady on the screen for you guys. And yeah, I like it. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so those red dots is the image capture software keeping the planet centered in the view by moving the pixels it's using, and then the box, the white box around it, is what's actually happening. What's actually happening in the capture? So that's the frame that it's actually capturing. I'm really glad you mentioned that, Renee. That's frickin' rad, because now, best of both worlds. I'm in. This is great. Let's use all the technology. Yo, it's gonna get nicer. I'm adjusting focus relatively low-ish at the moment. Low for me, not really. I mean, I shouldn't ever say that, because people in the northern hemisphere are getting screwed with the planets right now for the next couple of years, actually. But oops. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm going to use this all to keep it nice and steady. It'll help the live stream and everything else. So yeah, what you're seeing, remember, right here, this dark dot right here, that is actually the shadow of the moon Europa. So what you're seeing is Europa over, it's going to go that way, yeah. So Europa is over here somewhere, right here I think. It's very faint. Yeah, there it is, right there. And this is the shadow of Europa on the planet, and this is the great red spot here that I'm circling with the cursor, and this is the moon Ganymede right there. And just above my head on the screen over here, right here, that is Io, that moon that we were talking about at the last live stream. So we've got all kinds of moons there today. Moons, shadows, frickin' red spot. I mean, we got it all right now. So this is cool, hey? Hey, Mark. Cloudy in Ohio. Yeah, sorry about that. Glad I can share my view. I'm going to do another capture because I can. Am I manually focusing? Okay. I am manually focusing, yes. That's a must with planets. You must manually focus. It's really difficult to focus with planets. I'm still learning, a lot of that as well. But yes, I'm manually focusing. I have a motorized focuser, however, that I can control from the computer. So I'm controlling the telescope and the camera completely from the computer, including the focuser. So that's why. Oh, it's starting to look good. Oh God, that looks good. So yeah, I use a telescope focuser from Prima Luce Lab. Focuser, I'm going to type it. It's Prima Luce Lab in Italy. They make really nice stuff. primalucelab.com. That's the focuser that I'm using. Oh, I have coffee left. Ooh. Kind of cold. Somebody bring me a hot cup of coffee, okay? Thanks. It's a Prima Luce Lab Sesto Senso motorized focuser. Yeah, Filippo. Oh, it's early, late, whatever. Filippo is great. Wow, this is just looking really good, you guys. We are getting so lucky with this. Wow. Sorry, I'm focusing again. It's like things keep popping in and out, and they're just looking awesome. I love this. It's probably not going to work out well for imaging at all, but it looks great here. Phew. That's epic. Okay, so focuser is Prima Lucha Lab Senso. And then the telescope. Well, we'll see. You know, it's more about the live stream at this point, but I am trying to get some good stuff. Okay, so John, let's see. I'm watching your stream from Mexico. Cool, 4 p.m. Yeah, it's it's 2:16, so you're quite a bit behind me in time. People in the northern hemisphere are getting screwed by the planets right now. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is, in the northern hemisphere, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, the main planets that people like to look at. Look at how good this looks. Oh my God. Those main planets are very, very low on the horizon. They don't get very high in the sky when they rise, which normally we'd be like, so what, right? Who cares? Well, the thing is, the higher in the sky that they are, the higher above the horizon, the better, the clearer view you get through a telescope. So people like me who like to take photos of the planets, if they're low on the horizon, it's very difficult to get good quality images. If when they're low, but luckily for me, because I'm in the southern hemisphere here in South Africa, they get very high. They actually get up to zenith. So I'm like, you know, we're gonna watch this telescope go completely vertical. It's gonna be awesome. And the higher they get, the cleaner the view. So yeah, this is looking good now. This is looking great. Geez, we got 2 moons, a shadow, and the GRS. 2 moons, the shadow, and the GRS all at once. I mean, this is a hell of an event right here. This is cool, and it looks nice also. So bonus, it's bonus time. This is cool. Let's see. What's the next question? What aperture does my telescope need to be, Marlon, to see the shadow of the moons on Jupiter? You know, it depends on a few things. I started out a while back with a 10-inch Dobsonian. Not an expensive telescope. It was about $500. And I could see moon shadows on Jupiter. So, I mean, sometimes even an 8-inch will do. But obviously, the bigger the aperture, the better the image. They will get that high for you, pipe organ. Hate me now, but I'll hate you later. In a few years when they get up high, they will. Unless you're at let's see, depending on where you are in the world in general. But yeah, so. Aperture-wise, you know, I've got a 12-inch now, 12-inch RC, Ritchie Chrétien telescope. Yeah, so it gives a pretty good view right now of the telescope. Right, it's one of those moments where everything lines up perfectly. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This is like when I have good weather, when it's going to work out for me to shoot. You know, I always check the planetarium apps. On my phone, I use Sky Safari. So if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you'll see I post screenshots of the application that I'm using sometimes. And I knew this was going to happen. And so, you know, I don't even look if I can't shoot. But if I could shoot, I look and see if there's any sort of good event that I can share and shoot. And just so happened that it worked out tonight that the Great Red Spot was going to be visible, and then I was going to get a shadow transit. I was going to get moons in the view, and the fact that we can see all those live right now. Well, live on Earth, it's actually about 50 minutes ago, if we were orbiting Jupiter. But Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to see these events happen, you know, with our electric eye here. And adjust focus again. So things, as the temperature changes outside, and as environmental factors come into play, focus does change throughout the evening. So that's why I've got to do this. And I do want to get good images. I've actually started submitting my images to the Planetary Virtual Observation Laboratory website, which is a website where a lot of planetary imagers submit their work, not because it's pretty pictures, but they submit it and planetary scientists actually look at the data that's submitted because they use it for science. We're not always, there's not telescopes always pointed at Jupiter, so we're not constantly monitoring Jupiter. So the more amateurs like myself post onto those websites and those forums, the more we actually get, help for the scientists. Benefit, but not a whole lot for a monochrome camera. So an ADC is an atmospheric dispersion corrector, ADC, and basically what that does is that lines up the color channels. So when you're shooting with a color camera, where we get a color image, which I don't have at the moment, it will take the red, the green, and the blue and make sure they all focus at the same point on the camera sensor, which isn't the case at all for. It is not the case for color cameras. They don't all focus in the same at the same spot. So in order to get a more perfect image with a color camera, an atmospheric dispersion corrector can really help. Okay, no, actually this is so Amit asks, am I using any special filter? I am not at the moment. This is just luminance, so this is all the colors. This is just lume. This is red, green, and blue, everything. It's basically a clear piece of glass over the camera lens, so we're seeing everything at the moment. I need to start doing some color stuff, though. This is sweet. Oh, you're in Virginia. Yeah, no, the planets will be, pipe organ, the planets will be higher for you, much higher for you, in the coming years. So don't worry, just wait, check your planetary apps. Collimation of the Ritchie cretin is fine. I don't move it much. I only move it from inside the house to the mount, so I don't do a ton of that. I'm very careful, and I do take quite a bit of care to make sure that it works out nice. Okay, now it's getting cold. Joe, nice to meet you, Joe. I called you pipe organ because that's your name. So the 290, yeah, this is I've got the 290. This is the ASI 290 mm. So this is the monochrome version of the color camera you've got. Now it's looking really good. I'm gonna do a color run at this point. Oh, Michael Thompson in South Africa as well. Been to Sutherland to practice some basic astrophotography. Do you do any workshops? I have done workshops in the past. Nothing recently. Yeah, I've posted a few photos of the setup that I've done for this live stream. But yeah, send me a message. Either on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and I can share some of the stuff that I do with you, no problem. Let's see, where am I at? I was going to do some color stuff. I need to actually shoot this because this is looking way too good. So I'm going to switch over to the red filter. You'll see things changing a little bit on the screen. And there's red, and we saw that great red spot kind of just disappear a little bit. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. I'm adjusting focus a little bit before I do a full Oh, oh, I like the view. I mean, I like the red view. I think it looks so cool. So now I am checking. Let's set the limits of all of these. I'm going to do 60 seconds per color. And I'm going to actually, I'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, that's a nice view actually. So we're going to do a color. I'm going to do a color. So the telescope is actually, or the software rather, is going to automatically switch filters for me while we do this. Oh, wow. Guys, I can see my breath. Okay, I'll let you guys watch this as it happens here. So we are on red. We're going to do 60 seconds of each. I'm just going to do it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen, right? I'll try and answer some questions while this is happening. Hopefully we get through everything. While this goes, I'm tracking solid. It looks like I'm tracking solid, but remember I've got the auto align feature going. So those red dots that you see kind of bouncing around, the software is actually keeping the planet right in the middle of things for me. So that's helping quite a bit. The mount is a Celestron CGEM mount. It's a little bit overloaded actually with this telescope. The telescope's more than it should be for this mount, but it's all I've got, so you know, you gotta use what you have. Yeah. I do have gear backlash. And that's why, you know, I'm kind of hoping that we run. I'm hoping that things work out and that it doesn't hit me, because sometimes I definitely do have gear backlash with this telescope. So this is the green filter. You notice that red spot pop right back in. It's really got quite a bit, you know, quite a bit of. It's looking pretty decent for green. I don't even know what I was just saying now. Gear backlash. Oh yeah, sometimes it gets bad. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes backlash gets really bad. I need to do a tune-up on this mount, I think, but I'm not in the mood to do so, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys, I mean, if you want to use really good capture software, Fire Capture is what I'm using. It works incredibly well. I see people still using SharpCap, and I don't really know why, because it's not that great. I'm actually focusing while I'm shooting. Blue is crap, though. This is blue. I mean, you see it gets a lot more jumpy. The reason blue is crap in comparison to the other colors is for the same reason that the sky is blue. So blue is just never nice. I'm trying to find focus with blue and I just can't do it. Every once in a while it pops in, but anyway. Okay, so then we're back to Loom. So we've done all the color channels. Now we're back on luminance, which is just the clear glass filter. This is capturing the whole visual spectrum now, not just specific colors. Focus is dying now. Okay, the focus is fine. It's the guy that's doing the focus that's the problem. Pilot. pilot issues. Yeah, it's really hard to find that focus point sometimes. Okay, not bad. Not too bad. Okay, I'm still here. We've lost it on a loom. Gotta get that back. So I'll just let that sit until it stabilizes a little bit. Come back, where are you? Seems like we've hit some patchy air. No, it's getting worse, okay. Yeah, we definitely hit some patchy air. It's getting wobbly up in here. The wiggle, we got the wiggle. I need to have somebody doing background music for me here. So this isn't just like the musings of a crazed random dude in South Africa in the middle of the night on the internet talking to people he doesn't know. Let me see here. What happened? Why did my view get all crappy all of a sudden? Huh? Which one of you screwed this up for me? I blame you. Come back. We're still seeing the shadow. So that's the shadow of Europa, a great red spot. Ganymede. Europa's coming in somewhere around here. And if I could find focus again. It's just a lot jumpier all of a sudden. Calm down. Yo. Ugh. Switch to a different. I'm going to switch to a different color channel actually. I'm going to switch to. What do we want? What do we want? Red, green, blue? You guys pick. Oh, it's coming back. Hands are cold. How long is the video for each channel? Marlon on YouTube asks. I shoot anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds per color channel. If you do 60 seconds though, if you do that long per channel, you actually need to derotate in post before you combine the color channels into one image. Derotation is done with a program called WinJupos, which actually takes the exact time that you collected the data and it rotates the image based on the speed of rotation of the planet that you are mapping and imaging. I'm constantly adjusting focus. I'm fighting with it tonight. It was good. I must just be hitting some ugly stuff. Heat aberration causing that wobbly. Renee, it's heat waves in the atmosphere, junk in the atmosphere. it can be pollution, it can be the jet stream, this doesn't look like jet stream to me, this just looks like heat. When you actually see what looks like water kind of roll through, the image, then that's usually jet stream. If it's fast, you can actually see, the error messing with it. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. So you just kind of have to chill and let it go. But this just looks like heat currents. It could also, if you're using a big telescope like this with a mirror, there's also something called tube currents. Now, tube currents is a difference in the ambient temperature, or rather a difference in the temperature of the mirror, the actual optics in the telescope, versus the ambient temperature. So if the ambient temperature and the mirror are different enough, you'll actually see heat current problems. You'll actually see heat current problems happen inside the telescope. So that's an issue as well. So the other problem is when it's all wobbly like this and it's not super stable, it's really hard to find that perfect focus point, because you need a stable image to be able to nail that focus. It's hard to see. I'm pumped though that we can actually see that shadow, even in this semi-poor. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to red. I'm gonna do an image run just because I want to. Okay. So the jet stream is calm tonight, huh? Is it calm everywhere, though? Everywhere in the world? That's what I wonder. I bet it's not. I bet it moves around, because it's a big place. Okay, we're gonna do this. Gonna do color again. We get that a lot here in Long Island. Yeah, geez. Okay, so the thing is, living by the sea is actually pretty good, Renee. Oh, Tian. That's okay. Yeah. How's it going, Tian? Yes, so then our jet stream is pretty much the same. I didn't think it looked like the jet stream. So Tian here, Prima946. Tian is... Post a message on the group if you would, Tian. He's actually in the local astronomy club here in South Africa that I'm also a part of. Let's see. Anyway, so yeah, he's telling me the jet stream here in South Africa is relatively calm. So 17 meters per second is the speed at which that air is moving in the atmosphere. Not too bad. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. I'm gonna say this is okay. Adjust the focus a bit. Let's do it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen, right? Could screw it up. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so for green, I need to go to the left a little bit. Remind me of that, I think. Or just leave it the way it is and stop messing with it. Constant fiddling. Yeah, just cold. My hands are a little chilly, but not too bad. Yeah, so in the big cities, you'll get a lot more heat current problems. Just because of all that concrete and the buildings and everything, they heat up during the day, and then all that heat is different than the ambient temperature of the sky, you know, at night, or the atmosphere at night. So all that heat's being bled off into the atmosphere. Blue, you suck. There we go. Cool. Better. So that in a big city it's the worst. And so I live in Johannesburg, which is, you know, huge. And you know, we've got heat current problems all the time. So it's like right now is actually great because it's been dark for many hours, and there's been time for that heat to bleed off and everything to kind of acclimate to that ambient temperature, so there's not so much of the heat current problem. And it looks like I need to be careful. I need to be careful. I need to be careful with my... Okay. Very nice though. This is very nice. I love seeing these moments. I just did a color capture run, and we're gonna do another one. Because it's looking pretty decent at the moment. I'm not gonna mess with anything else right now. Okay, I lied. I did mess with the focus slightly. I just wonder. I wonder what kind of image I'm gonna get here. It's always a toss-up to see. Sometimes you'll be imaging and it'll look great, you know, on the screen like this, and it just won't give you a very nice image. Sometimes you get a great image, so just always depends. Switching back to red now. So I'm back on red. Adjust this focus a smidge. Doing fine. Histogram. So one of the things I'm using as a focus help is that shadow. I'm trying to get that as dark as possible. Oh, yes, right there. Okay, so that's looking good. Yeah, that's amazing, guys. So check that red spot's right in the center, and that shadow of Europa is there, and then we've got Ganymede over here and Europa over here. So literally the shadow and that are going to go right across the screen. Look at that stabilized. Oh, nice. And that red spot is just an outline, because remember, this is the red channel, so it's going to let the most light in on the stuff that's red. So, you know, red is going to be a lighter color on the screen. Yeah. So we say it's cold, you know, here in South Africa. Myself and Tiana are saying it's cold. And what is the temperature right now? I'm going to guess it is 9. It's 9 degrees Celsius. So basically we should quit moaning, because it's actually not that cold. But we're going to moan anyway. So the crazy thing is about this motorized focuser that I'm using here is I'm actually adjusting the focus slightly while I'm shooting. And because I'm shooting 60 seconds, it'll pick those sharper frames. So I don't have to touch the telescope. It actually works quite nice. Okay, so here's blue. I need to adjust this one. Oh, blue sucks. I say that every time. Sorry about that. It's not that I hate blue. I just, just dislike it a little. It's required because it's part of that visual spectrum and everything, but it just likes to muck things up. It's so hard to get it nice. And blue is actually really bright, so I'm dialing it back a little. Okay, and we're back to luminance again. Nice and stable. I'm not going to complain at all with this. I mean, stable enough, let's call it. It'd be awesome if it was even better, but this is about as good as we're going to get at the moment. So what we're also going to see, which is cool, is I'm going to see we're going to see Europa here move across. It's so dim, we're not going to actually see the moon on the planet. It's just too dim. But so one of the things that I have noticed with focus, and it's harder to see on YouTube, so if you're actually in front of your telescope with your camera, one of the things I've noticed is that if it's sometimes hard to tell if you have nailed that focus point. Well, it's always hard to tell if you've nailed that focus point or if it's the air that's causing your image to not be nice or what it is. But what I've noticed is usually if it's focus, if you're not there, the image will be really a lot more shaky than otherwise. So like if you're really struggling to find focus, if you're not sure, which is often the problem, if you're not sure if it's focus or if it's the atmosphere being wobbly, if it's really, really high frequency stuff, sometimes that's focus. Often that's focus. Oops. Come back. Okay. This isn't quite as nice yet. Although we'll do it again because it's not gonna hurt anything. Let's switch over to red and then do another capture sequence. Adjust this again, get that shadow as tight as I can. How's that look? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty damn good. I'm gonna go with that for now. Actually, before I do this, I'm gonna adjust the capture. Oh no, do not adjust that. Okay, I was gonna change the capture frame, but I'm definitely not gonna do that now because that would be a bad idea for a few reasons. Okay, so we're starting this capture run now. Marlon says, can an IR filter give you better results than a luminance filter? Sometimes, yes, that's definitely the case. Infrared tends to be a little more impervious to atmospheric stuff. It can cut through often. The difference that you get is it actually will cause the final image to look a little bit different. It looks cool. I like it. I like using infrared for lume. But sometimes I'll use red for lume, sometimes I'll use IR for lume, sometimes I'll use lume for lume, sometimes I won't use luminance at all, so it kind of depends on a few factors. Whether or not you're going to use the luminance. So this is red again, this is why it's so bright. Tone it down a little bit. Yep, that's good. As far as histogram is concerned, it's looking okay. It's difficult here. So this is cool. Having these transit events is quite cool. However, it does cause problems sometimes in post, because it gives you all those extra things to worry about, like shadows and, you know, little moons and things that move around independently of the planet itself, and it's not always the best. And where was that focus point for blue? I forgot. That way. Okay, cool. Yeah. This is where I need music. Okay, so I'm going to finish up on blue here. Got about 20 more seconds on blue, and then we'll go back to lume again. And I'll let it sit on lume a bit. So you may have noticed, if you were not sure if you were paying attention at the last live streams that I've done, but I've changed also. Whoa. I'm shooting a little bit longer exposure time. It's about 13 milliseconds rather than 4 or 5. Just because I've been chatting with some people who are better than me at this, and they recommend to change to a little bit longer and shoot more like 75 frames per second, which is about 13, 14. So I'm giving it a try. I'm going to see, because I really want to get better Jupiter images than I've previously gotten. Jupiter frustrates the hell out of me, actually. There's so many small, little itty-bitty details that I really want to get, that I really want to shoot, and get nice, and it's just so difficult. So it really frustrates me. Yeah. So I'm just constantly focusing. Constantly tweaking. Such a pain, isn't it? I shouldn't complain, because it actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to leave the planet on here for a second, and Things are looking pretty good. Let's switch back over to red and do another imaging run. What do you say? I don't know, red just looks cool to me. I enjoy the view through the red filter. I really do. Especially when focus is actually nice. Or if I can get it there, which is what I'm adjusting now. Again, constantly adjusting focus. CAF. Oh, look at that! How cool! Europa's right there on the limb. Europa's shadow here. Great red spot here through the red filter. Let's see if I can tighten that up. Come on, you dog. Yo, that's tough. Sorry about my sniffles there. Don't worry, I'm not sick. How's everybody doing, by the way? Speaking of that. I hope everybody's okay. Staying safe, staying home, even if your government tells you, you know, it's okay. They're wrong, I think. I don't know. What do I know? Just seems like a bad idea, so just stay home rather and be safe for now. That's what I think. You can rewatch all my live streams. If you want to go to sleep. Go to bed, put on a live stream, and doze off in about 5 minutes. Let's see. I'm struggling with this focus, so I think that means that that's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, now it just turned to crap. Come on. That's just not fair. Oops. Oh, come back. Okay. Good? Good. Good enough. As good as we can get for the moment. Yeah, good. Knock on wood. So I read something recently about luck in a book, in a fiction book, because I read a lot of nonfiction. Sorry, a lot of fiction, a lot of science fiction is what I mean. Anyway, and it was a good quote. I thought it was luck is merely when timing and preparation collide. So basically, if you've got good timing and you prepare, you'll be lucky. I don't know, sounds good to me. Nothing like quoting science fiction, but it just seems to make sense. I think that's a lot to do with astrophotography as well. So let's get all philosophical. You know, like, there's really no such thing as luck. It's just, you know, are you prepared to take advantage of a particular moment in time because of practice or whatever it is you may have done. So anyway, if you're willing to sit out in the cold and, you know, talk to a bunch of people you don't know on the internet. It was probably stolen from about 1 million other places, though, so I doubt the author that wrote that, you know, made that up. I'm pretty sure it was stolen from someone else, but it was from a book, I believe it was the Ember War series. I've been reading this ebook series, the Ember Wars, and all the little sub novels that they've got. Richard Fox, I think, is the author. Anyway, I enjoyed the stories. So check Europa there. It's like a little pimple on the side of the planet, and then the shadow over here and that red spot. Let's see if we can dial blue in again, like we did before. No. It's like worse. What's happened in blue? What is happening? You know, I just want the atmosphere to go away for a little while so I can get a really nice image. I want to sit on the moon. Got that dialed in nice. Back to loom here. It's looking okay, but I want to get that a little tighter. Too bad it's like all of a sudden not so nice. That's a really dark shadow though, that's cool to see. Why did I move it when it was good? You know, sometimes I move the focus and I shouldn't. So let's see what else. Got a question from Renee. Renee says, with everyone automating things to the extent of being inside and controlling their scripts from Wi-Fi, do you prefer to be outside under the night sky to image? You know, that I enjoy being outside and being able to look up, you know, at what I'm imaging, naked eye. I do enjoy that. So there's that, but if it's super cold, I also don't want to be outside. So I've done a little bit of both. I mean, right now I'm outside, obviously. Planetary, it's a little more difficult just because I haven't fully automated. Actually, this is fully automated. The only thing that I don't have automated is the actual telescope control. So I'm sitting here with my left hand on, let's see, yeah, you can see this, on the control. It's sitting here on the table next to me, constantly adjusting, because I haven't really taken the time to do a proper, perfect alignment. And as someone asked earlier, they mentioned that the scope is really tracking nicely. Well, the thing is, it seems to be, but it's kind of not also. So I've got to make adjustments a lot just to keep things perfectly in the center here. And I don't have the control hooked up to the computer to do so. So I could leave it outside and sit inside where it's warm. But, it just, sometimes it's better to be right next to the equipment. So it'd be cool if I had an observatory. Ooh, are things tightening up? Is it just me? Do we need to shoot again? Am I getting picky? But yeah, I like to be outside. I love to be outside under the I mean, I could just, yeah, that's looking, oh, that's nice. Yes. Let's utilize this. Oh, it was looking way better a few seconds ago. We're gonna do it. I should wear my gloves. I've got fingerless gloves. I should wear those. So I think it's my hands actually that bug me the most. Although sometimes, man, when you get really cold, it's hard to talk, and you're just like, so you need to like wear something else. But it's not too bad out here. Oh, okay, sorry. Ryutal Hydro Geolocal, whatever that is. Company, maybe? Anyway, this is amazing. Thank you. He says, sorry if I'm late. What is the fuzzy guy hanging out about 9:30 slot just outside Jupiter? That is Europa. So you're talking about this. You can hardly see. Yeah, I can actually kind of see it here, hanging out on the limb. There's Europa, and that black spot here is the shadow of Europa. Here's the shadow of Europa as we switch to green. Okay, and then the great red spot. So Europa, shadow of Europa, and the red spot. Trying to maintain focus as it just pops around. So we're basically just looking through moving air constantly. Marlon MC, do you take photos of Venus? Yeah, I do Venus as well sometimes. I need to do it again soon, real soon, because it's getting more and more crescent really fast. It's gonna hit that stage where it's gonna be super thin but super bright. So, it's such a struggle. You know, blue's almost a throwaway channel. It'd be nice to just get rid of blue. Whoa, that's worse. Yeah, Venus is, I don't have an ultraviolet pass filter. And if you want to get cloud detail on Venus, you actually have to use ultraviolet. That's where the cloud detail is. And I don't have an ultraviolet filter. I've got an infrared filter, which helps a little, but you still don't see any detail on Venus with infrared, so it's difficult. Where was I with this focus? Not bad. Hey, Duncan. No worries. Cool, thank you, sir. Thanks for sharing. Oh yeah, but like I said, if you feel like sharing and putting this out on your social feeds, feel free. Use the link. Share with the link. That'd be cool. Get people watching. More the merrier. Happy to answer questions and do that. Thank you for sharing, Duncan. And like I said, I've got a Twitter account. You can check out my Twitter account and my Instagram account, where I put out notifications and stuff of my live streams and my images and everything. You can speak to me there, ask questions, talk, whatever. Pretty chilled about it all. just want to inspire some people. And it looks like seeing's starting to take a dive. This isn't great. Maybe it is. Again, am I being too picky? So we had a big gust of wind just a little bit ago. I'm sure you didn't hear it, but kind of went through the trees, and then now it's dead still. Which could be good, could be bad, depending on things. I'm going to do another image run here. Hello, Lynn. Hope I'm saying your name right. From Australia. We've got people from the US, from Australia. Where else? Everybody say where you're from. Say where you're watching from. I want to know. I want to know where in the world everybody is. We've got people here in South Africa. We've got... I assume we've got people all from all around the globe watching, which is cool. So what is it? It's like midday there in Oz, right? If I remember. Oh, I should have... Somebody tell Dylan to, like, Zoom call me. I need to get Dylan on here. Although I wasn't quite sure about this one. I need to usually plan those things out in advance. This is the red filter. Trying to tighten up focus because I want to do another image run. Okay, I think I need to go back now. Yeah, right there. That's about as good as it gets for this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Staffordshire, I assume that's the UK. 11:15 a.m. in Oz. All right. Yeah, so for me it's 3:15 in the morning. I set my alarm for 1 o'clock a.m. To wake myself up. It's pretty funny. I actually couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for crap because I was kind of excited about doing this new stuff that I'm doing tonight and being able to see this moon transit and shadow transit. Where if you want to see the shadow transit, rewind in the stream, you'll be able to see that shadow of Europa go all the way across. You know, and the GRS, great red spots. And then, you know, Europa on there, and yeah, it was just cool. I was excited, couldn't sleep, so I didn't get much sleep, maybe 2 hours. Do I need to adjust this? Not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. There we go. I suppose that's as good as it's going to get for green. Yeah, so I actually woke up a couple of minutes before my alarm went off and just said, screw it, I'm up, cool. Had coffee and here I am. 9:15 in Long Island. Ah, so it's a nice evening, so it's dark for you and dark for me. There you go, cool. So you've got the moon hanging out there still. Renee's got the moon in the States. There's that ugly blue channel again. You know what's funny is I've never gotten a decent blue channel. I'm pretty sure they just don't exist. So I'm just gonna stop trying to focus on blue. I'm tired of it. I got clouds. Okay, it's going around. Although, knock on wood or whatever, we've got a good string of clear weather the next few days. So let's hope that stays. stays that way, because I would enjoy that. Yeah, the spot does look pretty good in blue. Green as well. It really pops. I agree, Renee. And did I screw up the focus for the loom channel? Kind of, but not too bad. So this is my experiment tonight. I'm doing quite a few different things, which is a bad idea for science here, because you should only change one variable at a time. But since I'm not a real scientist, I can do what I want. Living on the edge. Changing focus while you're shooting. Whoa. How dumb is that? Maybe kind of dumb. Don't do that. Do what I say, not what I do. That's what my mom said. You know, the spot looks good in blue, yes. But having that view of everything like this in loom also looks pretty nice. What are we doing? Still got 80 gigabytes left. See, capturing just sections, small sections of the screen also helps with hard drive space. We've captured 50 gigabytes already tonight. When I say we, you have as well. I wish I could share this data with you all easily. I wish it was. I mean, I need like, you know, super fast internet, because let's see, one color imaging run, there's going to be about 8 to 10 gigabytes or more if I crop it in like this. So I'd have to upload, you know, 10 gigs of stuff, which I could do, I suppose. Just take a while. If I ever get super good data, maybe I'll do that, and everybody can kind of play around with what I've got. I know the people in the north would probably be happy about that. Pennsylvania, what's up? Multi-Moose 29. The whole city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania says hello. Do they? Wow. That's impressive. Since you're stuck in your house, stick your head out your window and scream, you know. Go check out Jupiter on YouTube! Check out the dude in South Africa on Jupiter on YouTube! That's what you should do. Stick your head out the window. Do it. Record yourself doing that. Send me the video on social media and I'll repost it. That would be amazing. I think it'd be funny. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Okay? Oh shit, I just refocused and it looks better. Damn it. Oh, at the end. Oh. Will I ever learn? Woody Point, Queensland, Australia. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, I keep forgetting. Let's see. I'm gonna send. I'm gonna get all risky here. Let's see what Dylan says. I just sent a message to Dylan O'Donnell. We will see. Let's see what Dylan says. Maybe I can get him to pop in. Maybe not. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with smiling at satellites. I think that's a great idea. Just don't smile at the Starlink satellites, because the jury's out on that one. I got mixed feelings. I'm all about, like, you know, cheap internet and everyone getting that, but will that work? Who knows? Number two, yeah, with the astro stuff and the images getting screwed up and all the interference, it's just a problem. All the space junk, I think that's a problem, but I don't know. It's just tough. I'm in two minds about the whole thing. But who cares what my opinion is, because I'm just enjoying having a good time here. Yeah, that seems to be the prevailing attitude. I've been taking the world way too seriously lately. I need to calm down and chill out and just look up at space more often. Ignore these dumb humans down here. No offense, you guys are all super awesome and smart. I mean the dumb humans. Dumb humans don't come watch. You know, you guys are the good humans. Don't tell them. Again with my refocusing, huh? Uh-oh, Dylan just responded. What did he say? I know he's awake. I asked him if he was up. That was a stupid question. Super stupid question. Gold Coast Aussie. Look at this guy. Yes. Oh, unfortunately, Dylan can't join. Dylan O'Donnell cannot join. He's busy being a dad. I think he's doing homeschool right now. This is real life, folks. I'm going to tell him there's a bunch of Aussies on here that'll be like, come join us! Bunch of Aussies on the feed. Okay, cool. Let's see. Am I losing that spot? How are we doing here? How are we doing? What happened to the focus? Is it better? Is it? How's that? How's that? No. See, it's kind of all over the place tonight. It's sort of tight. So what I do when I focus is I kind of watch the edge. I watch the edge of the planet. And then I look at, so once the edge is kind of not so bad, I start to look at the inside and look at the features, and then I go back and forth a little bit to kind of find that sweet spot, but you gotta wait a little bit in between so that you can find that sweet spot of focus that constantly changes. I need to do like a Bob Ross style live stream sometime with Astro. So we've got the happy little moons. There's no such thing as a mistake, just a happy accident. Jupiter and his friends. His friend Europa's hanging out with him right now, somewhere around Kierish. I need a better haircut if I'm going to do that, though. Because, not Bob Ross hair. Man, is this... It's hard to tell. I kind of want to do one really long luminance capture. You guys cool with that? Or is it even worth it? It's probably not even worth the hard drive space to do that, to be honest. Welcome to my YouTube stream where it's just my consciousness spewing its guts. Filling the air. No, it just got worse. Huh. I feel like we've had better conditions. Maybe not. Maybe this is just the way it is. Let's do it. Screw it. We're gonna do. Wait a minute. No, because I do have. Go back. Yeah, I got enough hard drive space. We'll do it. I'm gonna do it. Now 2 minute with a moon and the GRS. No, that's fine. That'll be fine. Let's do 2 minutes. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah. Dial that gain down a little bit. There. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, Mark. Cheers. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Mark. Probably going to switch over to Saturn later again. Although, before we do that, I need to check and see Comet Swan. Because it is low here. What time is it? It's 3:30 in the morning. I need to find out where that actually is. I'm going to look at my planetarium app. Because I also want to maybe try to see if it's photographable. Yes, I'm using a 2.5x power mate Renee. I'm going to search for there it is, Swan. Center it. And we need to go now. It is above the horizon. Oh, come now. Shit. Sorry about that. Cover your ears. Earmuffs. 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 Yeah. It's only 8 degrees off the horizon, though. So it's super low. I gotta wait another hour and a half or so. Where's it gonna be? It's going to be 21 degrees at 4:30, so in an hour. It might still be almost too low for me to see, but we'll see. So in an hour, we need to figure out where Comet Swan is, okay? So we will go. Are you, Tian? Yeah. It's going to be a while. It's only 8 degrees, man. But you must let me know if you're going to try and shoot it, what you're looking at. How's it looking? Because I haven't even tried to look at it or anything yet. I was just going to slap like a, I don't know, 200mm lens on and see what it looks like. So let me know what you're using to shoot it. In Johannesburg, it's probably not even worth trying, but I'm going to try it anyway. We're going to do color again, kids. Maybe we should do infrared. What do you think? It's super dim, but that's fine. Let's dial in focus first. Tubes. I'm sure with these little tiny focus things that I'm doing, but I can see differences. My neighbor's palm tree is waving at me right now. I keep thinking it's like a person standing on the wall and I need to like run. But it's just the neighbor's palm tree. It's kind of freaking me out though. So if I just get up and run away, you know, it's just like somebody robbing me. So okay, I think that's red. That's red right there. That's dialed. That's as good as I'm gonna get. Let's do this. You guys like my sound effects? It matters. That's what it sounds like when the camera captures. You just can't hear it because it's back behind me. It goes. It sounds like a coffee machine. Yeah. I'm making the most beautiful espressos. I'm an idiot. Sorry, it's still early and I need more espresso. Need more coffee. More of the coffee for me. Nobody brought me any hot coffee. I'm kind of annoyed. You know? You guys need to send me coffee. Do it through YouTube or something. I don't know. Cool. Tion says he is going to shoot LRGB on an ASI 1600, but he wants to end with DSLR. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot with my my camera, my normal camera, and a lens. Just because I have no idea how it's going to turn out, especially here in Jersey, so it's going to be like a test. It's going to look like garbage, but that's okay. Because the only way to learn is to make lots of mistakes. Lots of happy accidents. Okay? So do you guys see that APOD? That APOD, I'm going to look it up right now because it just looks so good. Like, it was incredible. We're going to look at the APOD site because that comment, APOD, swan. Yeah. Didn't even try and focus on this. It's just, I mean, okay, you ready for this? Oops. I mean, they absolutely nailed it. Look at this beautiful, beautiful image. This is by Gerald Riemann. Here's the details. Just gorgeous. This is now. So this is the comet now. I mean, this is just amazing. So I had to show you that. Okay. Enough of that. We're looking at the GRS now. The GERS. Not the greatest here. Yeah, that comment was so good. You know, that's like, it's just such a beautiful capture. If I try and shoot something like that from the city, from here in Joburg, oh, I just screwed up focus so bad. During a capture even, like a dope. Oh well, it is what it is. It would be hilarious. I'd probably get the nucleus of the comet, and it might not be in color. Who knows? And the tail, non-existent. But who knows? You know, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna have to see. Let's see what happens. That's pretty good. The color was pretty good on that, at least. 60 gigs left. I need a bigger hard drive. Was there anything else I wanted to try? Oh, we need to do infrared. That's what we need to do. We're going to do an infrared image because I want to. I've got enough color for now. Okay, now check this out. It's so dim, but that's also because of that. Let's change this to 15 milliseconds. We're going to have to jack the gain big time. Now, focus on this guy is going to be the other way. So the focus point of infrared, so we're going to infrared now. This is invisible. Invisible light. Humans cannot see this light. Wow, it's nice and stable in infrared though, isn't it? Dang. That's good. Am I allowed to use the word dang? I don't think I'm from the right spot in America. I think I need to be more from the South to use dang. You know? I think sometimes when I say it, it's like, it's kind of for giggles and stuff. Okay, dial that back to about 80%. Get this focused dial. I mean, infrared does look nice. Jeez, that's nice. Holy crap. So since it's infrared, yeah, it's fine. Small enough. I was gonna change the capture box, but I'm not gonna. That's about as good as it gets right there, isn't it? It's not wobbling too much. Kind of hanging out. Let's try this. Why not? 120 seconds? Sure. Okay. Oh, I'll sit back and chill. Yeah, it's amazing how fast those moons go. I mean, also the GRS. When we started this live stream, the Great Red Spot was here, where the cursor is. I mean, it's moved that far in an hour and a half. It's went from here, or so-ish. I don't remember where it was actually. Something around here, all the way to here. So, a day on Jupiter is about 9.5 hours. 9.5 hours on Earth. Earth hours. Okay. So that's quick for the size of the planet. I mean, Jupiter is freaking huge. You know? I mean, the Great Red Spot is, from what I remember right, about 3 Earth. So you could fit 1, 2, 3 of Earth inside that Great Red Spot. But this entire frickin' planet rotates once every 9.5 or 9.8 hours or so. I mean, seriously? That's fast. Flippin' fast. So for the moons here, we've got Io and Ganymede. I think this one's Io, and I think this is Ganymede. Europa is somewhere around here-ish, still on top of the planet. So yeah, I mean, this moon's really popped through fast. Really quick. Okay, so there's an IR capture. We're gonna do a few of those. We've got 58 gigabytes left. And do another infrared, because see, the thing is, it's sometimes hard to tell. Ooh, I think I may have tightened it up a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna try that. Let's see. So you see in infrared, that Great Red Spot, it almost disappears. It's almost just like the outline of it. But that's the GRS right there. In infrared. So yeah, this is invisible light. Yeah, I'm gonna take images of Saturn as well. I have to. Saturn just looks too good not to. So I'm gonna move over to Saturn after. I'll probably do this is 4 gigs ish per 50 gigs left. I'm gonna go take a few shots of Saturn. It just seems like the right thing to do. Oh, is his name still on the YouTube? Yeah, he's not joining me tonight. I don't know. I could send him the data if he wants. I still need to process my own Saturn data, actually. I sent him the stacks that I did, and I haven't had time to do it just because of, you know, day job work stuff. So we'll see how this turns out. I'll ask him if he wants to play around. I don't mind. Jason does a great job with things. You know, I'm gonna have to edit the thing. I think I accidentally left his name in the live stream for today, even though he's not joining me this time. I wasn't sure if the weather was going to be good exactly, because we were just coming off a cloudy spell, so I didn't want to bug him to try and get Jason in this time. It looks nice. 55 gigabytes. Let's see, so I took let's do one more. We're going to do one more of infrared. And then actually, with infrared looking good, I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to actually drop, no, I'm not. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. I was going to do a test. I was going to test a shorter exposure versus a longer exposure, but I just want to keep this the way it is, although I could. Should I? What do you think? Oh, you could see Swan through the finder scope. What? You're kidding me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's cool, man. I'm stoked. That's rad. Oh shit. That's awesome. I need to go see if I could see the naked eye, because that is freaking cool. If you can see it in the finder scope, it'll be easy to shoot. Can you see a tail in the finder scope, or do you just see the fuzz ball? I assume you just see the fuzz. But I know that ion tail is getting bright, so maybe. Okay, we've got about 30 more seconds of this. Yeah, and I am going to do a shorter exposure test in infrared and just see if that, what kind of difference that makes. Yeah, I'm jealous of him too, even though we're both in Josie. Although I don't know where exactly Tian is. Okay, so now I'm going to change the exposure time to 5, and ooh, that's just noisy as all hell. Okay, let's try this now. Let's see. Okay, so this is a faster exposure time. We're shooting at now 180 frames per second, where before we were shooting at 75. I just want to do a test to see, because they're right next to each other. I want to see which gives me a better, result. It's always difficult to judge, but because of scene conditions and things, but they should be pretty close. So we'll see. I want to know. I want to know what's better. I have a feeling the longer exposure is going to be better, because the guys that are better than me, like Christopher Go and Damian Peach and Clyde Foster, who's here in Pretoria, are telling me to shoot longer. So that's what I'm going to do. You're in Melville. You're brighter than me. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to shoot it. Or at least try. Because if you can see it in the finder scope, that's awesome. I hope it goes above the tree where I'm at. It should. It should. I should be able to see that thing. Oh, those 1980s orange tube Celestrons? Dude, you could. Those things are cool. That's a nice scope. Just make sure it's nice and collimated and clean, and that thing's a good. That's nothing wrong with that at all. You'll be able to get a comet view. Listen, this comet is supposed to be naked eye, and if Tion can see it in a finder scope, you'll be able to see it in an old C8 lock. It'll be awesome. I mean, it'll just be a big fuzzball, but you'll be able to see it for sure, man. You've got to look. If you don't. Okay, so we captured. Okay, that's a lot. That is a lot. Damn. Okay, so there's my test. I only have 30 gigabytes left. So, change that back to where it was. Let's switch over to Saturn. Okay, now it's cold. We'll just do Saturn in IR. I'm not going to do Saturn in color. So we need to turn off all of this stuff. Okay, now we're going to switch over to Saturn. It's way dimmer. So we're going to do this. Blow Jupiter out. And switch to this scope. Now, move the telescope over to Saturn. And my hands are cold. I mean, I'd align this telescope, but it's just pretty easy to do by eye. So I just do it by eye. I've pretty much got this whole system kind of figured out. I don't want to say I know what I'm doing, but I've been doing this a while. So I can do quite a bit manually now. Automating things is cool and fun and everything, but now, will this be in the middle? This is the test of my alignment. When I switch over to the camera, is it going to be there? Yeah! Boom! Okay, cool. Let's adjust this. No, back. Get out of there. Okay. Move that and that. Haha, sucker! We're gonna do the clip, and we're gonna do the auto align. Oh wait, no, I've got it. There we go. Let's change this. These files will be tiny, which is great. Okay, so now we're on Saturn. I better change the little scrolly deal. Who wants a shout out? I'll put your name in there. Huh? A shout out's like a big deal. Saturn. Okay. Ooh, you know what I should say? I'm also gonna do this. Stay home and there. Check this out. Ready? Okay. Now, what happened to my clip? Why is it weird? There. Okay. So there's Saturn. Boring, right? No. It's actually pretty cool. Let's make it huge. How's that? Is it big enough? Should we go bigger? There. It's as big as we're going to get. Because I need to see this stuff. There. That way I can see the dots. I can see all this stuff. Yeah. That's awesome. I thought we had focus kind of dial. It's hard to tell. Screw it, let's shoot. Let's see what happens. What do you think? Let's try. So yes, now we're looking at Saturn. This is in infrared. So this is invisible light, quite dim. Hard to see a whole lot of detail in infrared, but we're going to try anyway. Let's see how these images turn out. So long exposure. See, it's like kind of moving in and out. It's pretty decent now. You can see that brighter equatorial cloud band here. And then just above it, you can sometimes see there's like a darker spot. It's hard to see in infrared, but it's there. And then, so the sun is actually coming from the left at the moment. And it's just that shadow is going to be big and bright. So, yeah, we can see the Cassini division nicely. It's that division between the A rings and the B ring. So these main sections. I think this is the A ring, this is the B ring, if I remember right. That division in between them, it's not actually a division. There's rings all the way through, but it's just much less dense in between those two rings. So. Okay, so we just did a capture in infrared on Saturn. Let's see, plenty of hard drive space left. That didn't even take up much. Who knows, you know, I moved the telescope, maybe I need to adjust focus a little bit. Hard to tell. Sometimes when you look at the Cassini division, you can kind of decide, is it jumping around a lot or not, and that's kind of a telltale sign of focus also. You know, is it looking like a multiple type of thing? Oops. There's not a whole, when you use a Barlow or a power mate like this, there's not a lot of light that gets let through. So, seeing in focus is key to any form of success whatsoever. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent, I guess. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see how this works. You just gotta keep trying. You gotta keep shooting, Renee. Renee says she loves this. I'm getting images I aspire to get even half as good. The thing is, it's all, you know, relative to what you've been shooting and everything. Like, you just gotta keep going. I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated actually with my planetary imaging, to be honest, just because I don't know why. Sorry, I'm hearing something up on the roof. think there's a bird up there. Anyway, I don't know why, but I am frustrated with a lot of this stuff, and I think I just got an image. Cool. Tian, who is also in Johannesburg, just sent me a screenshot of the back of his camera of the comet Swan from his location, not too far away from me, and he's got, it just looks like a blue-green core. I can't see any tail. Any tail detail, but it's only one exposure. He sent it to me with a 300mm lens, so yeah, maybe we'll get, yeah, sweet. That's sweet. That's exactly what I'm typing. Sweet. Okay, let's see. So I shot that. I should probably shoot one more because 3 data sets is better than 2. I can smooth them out. I'll derotate the windshield post just now. I'm glad you guys are liking this. So it's so steady on the screen again because I'm using a cutout. You know, the frame is only this white box, which is minimizing my hard drive usage, and then these red dots are also keeping things nice and tight. So the telescope isn't tracking as good as it looks on the screen. It's the software helping, but I'll take it. You know what? I should do another live thingy. Yeah. This is gonna be cool. Okay, we're now live. So we just moved on to Saturn. We're looking at Saturn now live through the telescope. It looks like this. So this is what we're looking at now on YouTube. So if you want to watch this feed live on YouTube, I'm chatting about what I'm seeing. Got some YouTube people watching as well, chatting about it. Go check it out on YouTube, and you see the direct screen share of what I'm seeing through my telescope on YouTube Live. So go check out my live stream on YouTube, and you can check out this. You can scroll back and watch Jupiter and the Great Red Spot, and Europa and Ganymede and the shadow of Europa on the planet. You can see all that stuff. There's a link in my profile on Instagram that goes directly to this live feed, and then you can go backwards in time on the feed, or you can watch live with us and comment. But yeah, just letting you know, check out the link in my profile. Get your butt off Instagram. Go check out my live feed on YouTube, and you can see this. And then yeah, so check out the link in my profile and go check it out. Check out my link in the profile and go check it out. I actually just said that twice. Well, whatever. It's like, 4 o'clock in the morning, so enjoy. See you at YouTube. Okay, that was my Instagram voice. How about that? Oh, that's a nice image. That's a nice image. Now I'm browsing Instagram on here. Okay, so we're going to switch over now to, we've done that. Let's switch over to Loom. Maybe he does. Tian said he might see a tail on the comet. That would be amazing if he does. That's cool. What time is it? 4 o'clock. I need to go. Okay. You watch Saturn. I'm gonna go in my grass just a little bit further away so I can see past the house. I'm gonna go look at Swan. Nope, it's too low. I can't see it yet. Not that I was sure if I'd be able to see it naked eye or not, but I couldn't see anything. I think it's still behind my house. So there is no comet swan at the moment. Let's see, what was I going to do? I'm going to switch over to Loom. Let's set this to 13. Now the focus is different between infrared and the color. So I've got to adjust focus. See, that's what happens when it's autofocus. See that jitter, that shake? It switches to 15. Turn the gain up. Okay. Whoa, that's too bright. That's too much. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Now, so looking at Saturn in luminance now. Now I'm going to do the fine adjustment of focus. See if I can tighten that up a little bit. Whoa. Bad. Wrong direction, kids. I mean, this focuser I'm using is awesome. It's just so nice to not touch the telescope, to be able to do this. I think it's a game changer. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If there's a one piece of gear that really, other than the camera and the telescope obviously, that helps so much for planetary imaging, it is a motorized focuser, so you do not touch the telescope. It helps so much. It's hard to tell. Yeah, we had decent seeing there for a bit, and now it's going to shit. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, you're just listening to my musings. I'm gonna wait for this, whatever, wobbly patch to pass us by, and then maybe I'll image it again. Is there no fun in viewing Sirius? Well, right now, none, because I think it's below the horizon. Yeah, Sirius is gone for me. Seriously. We need to do a live stream sometime of Uranus jokes. Maybe actually, Uranus is like right by the sun right now, so it's burning. Uranus is on fire. Yo, one of them. Dang. One of the neighbor dogs is like... Oh. It's either a baby or a dog crying right now. I'm glad I'm not trying to sleep. Oh, come on, focus. This is so much harder than infrared was. Let's see. This might be the best I'm getting right now for Loom. Oh, you want to see Winjupos, huh? Yeah, I can do so. Is it Joe? Is that right? Pipe organ, Joe? Asked if I'm going to show Winjupos processing. I will. I've asked, or I've had a few requests for that. And listen, I'm no expert with it, so I'm just going to basically show you how I use it. And I won't do it now. I'll actually do one during the day sometime where I'll just take one of these stacks and we'll go through and edit and do a whole derotation and just kind of, see what happens. Yeah, it was more stable before. I'm like waiting for a nice stable moment to actually shoot, because I don't just, there's no point in even shooting if it's not somewhat stable, because otherwise you're going to get these jitters on the rings. Was that better? How was that? No. Yeah, this is not great. I wonder if this is just because, the sun's going to start coming up. It's 4:12. Okay, not yet. It's a little early for sun, but just a heat current in the atmosphere. Watching the river of air above me. So who's got this on the big screen? Who's watching this on TV? Huh? Is that a thing? Do people do that? Do you watch live streams on like TVs? Or do you have them like on a separate screen on your, computer? You're sitting there with a glass of wine and like popcorn, waiting for me to show something rad. I'm always curious, like, how this works. You're watching some random dude use his telescope in his backyard. How does one watch that? This is not great. TV and laptop, both. Bam! That's a great idea. That is dedication. Renee is dedicated to this. That's cool. I shouldn't have said popcorn, because now I want popcorn. I could go make some, but I'm not going to eat. I don't need to eat. Oh, wait. I keep waiting for this thing to just pop in. I feel like maybe we should switch out of this stupid luminance and like do something better, like red. Let's do that. It's 15:3:30. Okay. I'm going to switch to red, because I'm tired of this dumb luminance garbage. Wow, That is dim as all hell. Okay, definitely not that. 20. We should have stayed on Loom. Jesus. Oh, that's dim. Jeez. 50%. Okay, that's what we want. Live on, Renee. You got this. On cheap phone viewing. Yeah, that's fine also. Renee's living vicariously through me. She's not going to have clear skies for a week. So you guys must, like, when you shoot, share your images with me on Twitter. You know? I want to see them. I'm curious. I'm going to go back to Loom. Sorry. Ooh, wait a minute. That's pretty nice. Maybe it's just... Yeah, I'm just going to go back to Loom. Oh, wow. Apparently there is a bit of a tail on a quick shot. Nice. Let's see here. Oh, sorry about that. I'll have to follow you then. I thought I had focus dialed in. Oh, but that was for red. You know. It's going to be different for the Loom, slightly different maybe, depending on a few factors. No, I mean, but you're gonna have to definitely share it with me. Like, tag me when you post stuff. If I'm curious to see what you guys are shooting. And I honestly, I don't browse that much, so if you want to get my attention, definitely tag me or what else. It's hard to find decent focus with this, so I'm just going to shoot. I'm going to get as good as I can, and I'm going to shoot and see if it makes a difference. That's just not very stable. Worse, that's bad focus. Okay, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. Well, that's fine. Take what we can get. That's got to be a baby. There, done. Cold. Get to that point where it's hard to feel my hands. turn out. I'm going to post a photo quick on Twitter. Ugh. 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 Maybe a video would be better. I'll do a short video. Yeah, we'll do that. So this is the live view that's happening on YouTube right now. Go check out the live stream link that I tweeted a little bit ago. Okay. I don't know, I prefer the heat, although heat's bad for Astro. Oh, this is just not very good in Loom. Maybe it'll come out in processing. Maybe it'll look nice. We'll find out. We at here? So I'm just capturing some Loom. I'm not even going to bother with the whole color run of Saturn. I could. Oh, now you're making me think I should. No. Just gonna stick to this just for now. Let's see, where was this tweet? Whoa. Try and type with cold fingers. It doesn't work. Okay, that's done. Let that post. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do one color run. Why not? Why not? Okay, so this is a red. That's at 50. That's what we want. What is green gonna be? It's like 50, 30, 20, something like that. 20. Oh man, there's got a baby crying. Somebody's baby is crying in the neighborhood. At almost 4:30 in the morning. How long have we been going? 2.5 hours. Time flies. You know, it really does. Okay, so we are at 30 some. Okay. And then blue is going to be really dim. Blue sucks. But that's fine. 25%, something like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then we'll go back to red. Okay, let's do color. So that means we capture red, green, blue, and lume one after another, and we make ourselves an image after we combine everything in post. You know, these filters that I'm using, they are quite what's called parfocal, where most of the time the focus points on each color filter are pretty close to being the same. But it's not just the filters that affect that. It's like, you know, the actual wheel. There's a mechanical wheel that spins and changes the filters, and you know, it does have an effect. But this one definitely, so green does seem to be a little bit different than red. So I'm adjusting focus slightly here with green. Nope, that's bad. Okay. In between filters, so things do slightly change, so you kind of have to pay attention to those things as well. Trying to keep everything as tight as you can. Is it working well on the TV? Watching, we got some people watching on their TVs, some people watching on their phones, some people watching on laptops. That's cool. I'm watching on my laptop and well, not watching, but I'm streaming from one laptop and I'm imaging from another, and are we actually going to get a decent blue channel here? Almost. Huh. What do you know? Not bad. Not bad for blue, okay? It's your crappy blue channel. Who needs that anyway? Oh, that just made it worse. Yo. Then we're going to switch over to lume. It does pop a little bit more in blue, yeah. It also wiggles a lot more in blue, because the atmosphere is junk in blue. Woohoo! And lume. Whoa. Definitely need to adjust this crap. There we go. Stabilize it a little bit. Yes, Tion, if you've got a link to your photo, if you've already put it somewhere, share it on the chat. I'm curious to see what it looks like. Okay, because we can't just do one, we've got to do multiples. It's like a rule. Okay. You can't just shoot once, you've got to shoot lots. Looks nice and red. That's nice. Yeah, share the link, dude. Yeah, share the link to your page. I give you permission. You have permission to share that link. I'll watch here, and if YouTube is it the comment? I want to see the comment. If you've uploaded it somewhere, or you can even just WhatsApp it to me, and I can show it on the screen here. That'd be interesting. Yeah. So send me a message with it, Tian, and if that's the easiest thing for you to do. Satellites. So satellites and planets don't always, it's very, the field of view of the planet is so small that it's very unlikely that you're going to see a satellite or a plane cross the path of the planet, and when it does, it's like a big deal. It's massive. So it's very, very rare. I've never seen it, not on a planet. That would be insane. I need to go do a Comet Swan check again after this is done, because I should be able to see it just about now. And I'm gonna end the stream after this capture of Saturn in color. So quickly post it, Tian, so we can see. And then I'm gonna go wrap up for now after this image captures of the color. So after we get through blue and then luminance. Blue is junk again. Oh no, it'd be this way. There. And that's where we are with blue. That's cool, that's cool. Tian, also, if you're not able to post it there. Wait, there. I'm confused now. Seeing seems to be starting to go to crap. Yep, I think it's time to about wrap up. So after this capture, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Okay, that's it. Well, I'm not using a color camera. So someone asked, everything's gray right now. Everything is gray. I'm using a monochrome camera with color filters. So that's why everything looks gray on the screen. I do not have or use a color camera. I capture each color separately with color filters. And then, yeah, so Mars is red. Mars is definitely red. And Saturn is kind of a yellowish color, if you look at it with a color. Thank you, Renee. Have a wonderful evening. So let's do this. Let's see. I'm going to... duplicate. Yes. Okay, and then I'll do this. Yeah, I'll put that there. And then I'll go here. Oh yeah. And then this will be interesting. Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. So check this out. This will be cool. Okay, so then, okay guys, thanks for joining me this evening for the live stream. I'm losing Saturn. I'm losing it. Come back. There we go. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I'm glad to show you the views through the telescope over there. And yeah, so we saw Jupiter and Europa and Europa's shadow. We saw the great red spot, the storm on Jupiter. We saw Saturn in infrared. We saw Saturn in and there goes Saturn. So that'll be the end of this. Anyway, okay, cool. Thank you again for joining me, and have a wonderful day, morning, evening, wherever it is in your neck of the woods. Stay home, stay safe, and cheers.